Babysitter Elizabeth Emery is suing Alice Jordan in the amount of $500. Ms. Emery claims that Ms. Jordan never paid her for her babysitting services. Ms. Jordan claims she stopped using the plaintiff after several incidents of her being negligent.
Miss Emery, you're suing Miss Jordan for $500 for babysitting fees.
Yes, ma'am.
I've read your pleadings. Okay, and you don't think you owe her any money?
No, ma'am.
So how long you been babysitting?
Only for a couple of years, Your Honor.
Okay. What were you doing before you were a babysitter?
I'm a housewife, Your Honor, and I'm a proud mother of 3 very well-behaved teenagers.
So you didn't work?
No.
You never have worked a job?
My husband is a plumber, and he provides very well for us.
Okay, and how many children do you have?
I have 1 child. He's 5.
Okay, and she was babysitting him?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you meet the plaintiff?
Well, I found an ad for a babysitter while I was in the supermarket one day, and I reached out to her to see if she would be a good fit to watch my child.
Is that how we look for babysitters? By ad in the super? You may as well go on Craigslist.
Well,
how did you know who she was?
Well, after I talked to her, I also interviewed some of her references.
Okay, so you had references to her. How many references?
I have like 17 references. I had her come over to my house so that I could meet her and her child and see if it would be a good fit for her. And when she came over, we sat and we talked, and I discussed with her that I was a disciplinarian. That I believe.
What does that mean? I'm a disciplinarian.
I believe in strict childhood behavior. I believe that kids should be, they should be monitored, and they should behave, and they should listen, and they should perform. Yes.
Perform, listen, behave, disciplinarian. That's scary. She told you all of that?
Yes, she made me feel like she was treating children like pets for that, so I let her know.
But why did you agree to let her watch your child if that was what you felt?
When we had the initial discussion, she assured me that she would not spank my child.
Do you believe in spanking?
I do believe in spanking, Your Honor, but if that was her position that she did not believe in spanking, then I would never spank a child that was not my own.
Do you believe in spanking?
I do believe in spanking, Your Honor, but if that was her position that she did not believe in spanking, then I would never spank a child that was not my own.
Okay, so were there some parents in those 17 references that say, you know what, go right ahead and spank my child?
Some parents do believe in that particular philosophy, yes, ma'am, but it's not like I'm using it as corporal punishment. I mean, a little snap on the hand or pat on the bum.
Right,
nothing
pinching
really,
the ears.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
No, nothing like that. Mostly,
no belts and switches.
No, Your Honor, nothing like that.
No,
I'll set them in timeout and things like that.
Okay, you do the timeout. Do you do the timeout?
I don't do timeout. I feel like it
What do you
lowers
do?
his self-esteem. I just talk to my child and let him know right from wrong.
Oh, you're one of those parents. Okay, so every time there's a problem, you just have stopped, no matter how busy you are, and you just have a conversation.
Well, I tell him to stop, and I'm like, Andrew, you cannot do that. You have to listen to Mommy.
Well, what happened when Andrew stopped listening? I know when Andrew was 2, he wasn't listening to Mommy. When you said, Andrew, you got to stop that, and Andrew was 2, what happened then?
Well, we take a pause, and I just hold him by the hand and make sure he's not running around or doing anything that he shouldn't be doing.
Right, and he would just stop doing it, just like that.
Well, he's a toddler, so sometimes there would be like a little bit of, him getting rambunctious, but he would calm down and listen to me.
Okay. So was this his first time with a babysitter, or who was keeping him before he went with the plaintiff?
Well, I just recently got a promotion with my job, so I was keeping him beforehand. But once I got the promotion and I started working more of a set schedule, I needed a babysitter to help me out.
Okay, so up until this time, then your little boy had only been with you. Oh, I see. So this would be his first time out with another authority figure and with other children, I imagine.
Yes,
is that right?
And at the beginning, Your Honor, he was quiet, I assume, because he didn't know anyone. He kind of played well, but as he got
how many kids were?
I only take 3 kids
at a time.
Oh,
so there were only 2 other children.
2 other kids.
And what ages?
The other children was 10 and 8. There was a boy and a girl.
Well, a lot older than him. They weren't his peers.
Yes, they were.
Okay, and how much were you charging her for this babysitting?
I charged her $10 an hour. $10 an hour.
But was it $500 a week?
5 days a week, 25 hours a week, 5 days a week, 20 hours a week.
It was $250 a week.
A week?
$10 an hour.
Okay. That seems pretty cheap, babysitting fees.
That's good.
Right? Okay. And so you were preparing their meals?
I did. I prepared
snacks. Did we have
snacks
nap time?
Yes.
Did we watch TV?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was a time for homework and that kind of
Well,
thing.
he didn't have any homework at 5.
No, but you know, the other kids did,
Right.
so I made him sit down at the same time
Right,
that they
well,
did.
he must have been kind of frustrated there. He didn't have anybody his own age. What does an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old want to do with a 5-year-old?
Well, he started acting out with the older boy, always trying to wrestle with him
Right.
at times and things like that. So I'd have to sit him down and put him on timeout for things like that.
So
and
did
trying
you know that she was putting him on timeout?
Well, yes, I went ahead and told her it was fine for him to do a 5-minute timeout, but I
Okay.
didn't want it to be anything, you know, more than that.
But whenever I tried to tell her about the things that the kid was doing, she would never want to listen.
Like
She
what
was,
kind of things
well,
was he doing?
I
well,
had
once
an
he
issue.
went
What's
to
his name?
Andrew. His name is Andrew.
What was Andrew doing?
Andrew took toilet paper and stuffed toilet paper all down in the toilet and flooded the whole bathroom. I would have had to call the plumber, say that my husband was the plumber. She didn't even apologize.
Right. Did
Well,
Andrew
when she
stuff toilet paper down
When
the
she
toilet?
came to me, she told me that she didn't see him do it.
Right. I
So it
was
could have
thinking
been
that
one
as
of
you
the
were
other
telling me,
children.
how come you didn't see Andrew in the bathroom with the toilet paper?
She was
Well,
not attending to him.
Excuse me, were you there?
I'm sorry.
I was downstairs preparing snacks. In
So
the
that
kitchen.
means he was upstairs on
Yes,
his own
ma'am.
in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
sound right to me. That
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
sound like you were watching him.
Coming up on Supreme Justice,
I picked my son up one day and he had scratches on his face.
Miss
and she
Emery,
couldn't
he
really
had
tell me
scratches
what
on his
happened,
face?
but she said
Well, I
he was
didn't
wrestling.
notice any scratches on his
Again,
face.
was he upstairs and you were downstairs?
Supreme Justice is back with the case of babysitter Elizabeth Emery, who is suing Alice Jordan for $500.
So what else happened?
I picked my son up one day and he had scratches on his face.
Right.
And I brought it to Miss Emery's attention.
Miss
and she
Emery,
couldn't
he
really
had
tell
scratches
me what
on his
happened, but
face?
she said
Well, I
he was
didn't
wrestling.
notice any scratches on his
Again,
face.
was he upstairs and you were downstairs?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I didn't notice any scratches. This is something she came and told me about the next day.
Right.
I don't know if he got the scratches at school or if he was tussling around with the young boy
So
in
you
the house.
never saw the scratches?
I didn't see the scratches.
Did you take
on his
pictures
face.
of the scratches?
I did not take pictures of the scratches. I just brought them to her attention.
Right.
And when I picked him up the next day,
Right.
I showed them to her. And she claimed that he was wrestling with the 10-year-old. But she wasn't even in there to let me know for sure whether or not he was
Did
actually
you ever
wrestling.
see him wrestling with the
I see him.
10-year-old?
I see him. You know, roughhousing with the kids, and I'm always disciplining them and telling them to stop touching each other and sit down and behave. But I didn't notice any
Well,
scratches.
let me ask this question. What kind of stimulation are you giving these children at your house?
They get to read. They get to work on the computers. And
Right.
they get to watch TV.
Right.
Yeah, they stay in the house most of the time.
All
though.
day long?
Well, you know, it's cold outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not cold all day. Y'all in Alaska somewhere?
We're in Mississippi, but it's January. It's cold outside.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
how long did he stay at her?
He was only with her for about 6 weeks, and then I
Okay.
pulled him out because I felt like it wasn't a safe environment.
Right. So what was the last straw?
It all came to a head when I was in the kitchen preparing a snack for the kids, and when the older boy called out to say that the young boy was running a little toy car across
Well,
my
I don't
husband.
understand why there's so much time that these children are just not in your view. I mean, why couldn't he be in the kitchen while you were preparing the snacks, a 5-year-old?
Right.
It doesn't seem like you were a good babysitter.
Well,
And we have flat screens at home. She told me
Right.
that it was a flat screen TV.
Right.
And I've never seen him run cars over the flat screen.
What do you mean he
has
was
respect
running
for
cars?
things.
He had one of those little toy cars, and he was running across the screen of the television,
Right.
causing it to ghost like that. And I was afraid it was going to break.
So
I
when you
told-
went out, you saw him?
So the older boy called me and told me that it was happening. So I came inside
What
and I
did
saw
you
what he
see?
was doing. I saw him running the car across the screen of the TV.
Right. Is the TV up on the wall?
It's on a TV stand,
Right.
but he's got to reach up a little
Right.
bit to
But
get to it.
children do stuff like that.
Of course they do. And then when
And
I
if he
saw
was-
him doing that, all I did was take
If it
him
was
and put
beside
him in
you,
the
you
corner
would've-
and
you
time
would've-
out.
You wouldn't
You
have
put
had
him a
that problem.
timeout for that?
Yes, ma'am, I did, because he's not allowed to touch the TV.
Well, how long did you have him in timeout?
5 minutes.
Okay, so why are we here on the $500?
Because she signed a contract with me, Your Honor, and I asked her that if she should remove the child from my services without proper notice, that she would be responsible
Let me
for
see
the
the
fees.
contract. What's proper notice?
At least 2 weeks notice to let me know
2 weeks?
so that I can have time to find another
Your Honor, I didn't have
client.
2 weeks to see if my child was going to be in a safe
Wait
environment.
a
or
second.
not.
Why do you need 2 weeks to find another client?
Because
Remember, I don't work. I'm a housewife. My husband is a plumber, so I got it like that. So what did you need 2 weeks
I'm
for?
very selective about who I choose to come into my home, so I needed time to find the proper candidate.
You know what? I do see that you did sign it 2 weeks, but you know, in the law, there's something known as what is unconscionable. She didn't just say, I'm moving out of town, and so he won't be coming here. She's saying that there's been a series of events that have happened over a 6-week period of time, and it's very obvious based on your own testimony that you weren't really watching this child, and she would have been a bad parent, remiss, if she didn't remove this child from your home.
And she sent me an invoice in the mail 2 weeks after I sent her an email letting her know that I wasn't going to bring my son back.
Right.
So I felt like she was only worried about the money and she wasn't concerned about my child being in safe care.
Well, from the testimony I've heard, it sounds like, but that's what you get from picking up a card in the supermarket about a babysitter. All right? Judgment for the defendant. Good luck to you.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
You know you were not properly watching my child and you had no right to charge me.
Young kids need discipline, and you're not a very good mother.